In my early 20s, there was a point where I wanted to try and like part-time as a security guard. Like those overnight condo security guard. Because I thought that...
You want to wear the uniform or what? I won't feel safe. Hello everyone, welcome to the Hot Pot, where we hop into different pots of spaces people find themselves in during life's transitions. I'm Joie.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Q, and today's topic is about side hustles. So a side hustle is a piece of work or a job that you get paid for doing on top of your main job.
Means outside of your 9 to 5.
Correct.
Supplementary to your main income.
Extra
Before 9,
cash.
after 5, whatever you do that earns you money.
Or maybe during your 9 to 5, you are also doing...
Oh, sneaky.
Oh, actually I know people who do that.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, isn't there... what income is that?
Passive income.
Passive
Yes.
income.
Passive income.
Yeah. It can be passive income.
Actually, a lot of people say investing is passive income, but it's not passive.
No, you need to...
You need a lot of work on it.
Yeah. Okay, so what are some side hustles that you guys have?
I think the question goes to you and... The both of
also
you
have
actually. No. This is the queen and the king of side hustles. Because I know you have multiple things going on. I also know
He's
you
the
have
king of hustle, I will say that.
He comes on set, right? Jaded,
Yeah.
burnt out.
A bit
He
tired.
is the hustle and bustle of
Sometimes
Singapore.
a bit tired.
Yeah.
Okay, Joey.
yeah, Joey
What side
start
hustles
first.
do you have?
My whole life is just a side hustle.
Oh, actually true,
I'm built of different hustles. So if you want to list, right, I am a musician. That's my main thing, right? Musician. And then during COVID, obviously, I couldn't do music anymore. So I had to branch out even more. But pre-COVID, okay, I was a musician. I teach art. I got my yoga teacher certificate. So I teach yoga. Then I used to teach in primary schools as well as an instructor for like camps and whatnot. So teaching has always been in my life. Then I teach music. I paint murals as an artist. I do like commissioned paintings and works. And then I created like a side hustle business thing where I sold things and sell them. So during COVID, I sold a lot of masks and handmade items.
How did you get started with all the different side hustles? Or is it like you have a skill set, then it just like
It just
snowball?
branch out,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
'Cause she's a creative.
I would say I've been very entrepreneurial since I was a kid. So I used to sell ice cream sticks in primary school.
Ice
So
cream?
you can buy one whole pack for like $2 or like $1, $1.50, right? I sold one ice cream stick for 10 cents.
Wait, can I ask?
Yeah.
Why people buy ice cream stick?
I don't know. I'm a very good saleswoman.
Actually, this year I've picked up a few more side hustles.
Yeah, you're hustling real hard there.
So actually, my main job actually doesn't really leave me a lot of free time outside of work already lah. Cause I OT quite a lot. This year, I started to take my fitness a bit more seriously. So as a part of that, I was spending more time at the gym, and then one thing led to another, and then I'm taking my personal trainer certification now. So I started taking like those group
Classes.
group HIIT classes at the gym also. So 2 mornings a week, like 6 a.m. I'll be in the gym conducting the classes. And then the last few years, I've been lecturing part-time at Poly lah. And then I'm on this podcast.
Wait, I have a question. What's your motivation for taking on so many things? Is it financial gain? Are you intentionally hustling so that you can like put a lot of money together for your future? Or do you just feel the need to fulfill your life and pack it like that?
I think it started off as more of the financial. Then after that, now it's more of the latter. Yeah. Like, yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah, very tiring. Really very
Yeah,
tiring. Now
it's
I like,
true.
1 week I'm working like, I don't know if the math adds up lah, whether there's even that many hours in a week. But I feel like I'm working maybe like 80, 90 hours.
Right.
Is there, there's 80, 90 hours,
There's
right?
24 in one day. What do you think?
24 times 7 is what?
24 times 3 is already like...
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think I work maybe like...
Don't, if he's financial advisor,
Maybe
don't.
like maybe like 80 to close to 100 hours. Like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm working from 6 a.m. to like midnight.
Yeah, as in, no, just now when you asked that question, as in I can never get like having multiple side hustles because I feel like then there's not enough time for your social activities and your personal time. And I feel like I need that work-life balance.
And it's also like, then you earn the money for what, right? Like you got no time to
Yeah.
spend.
Oh, that's true. As in to save lah for future.
Yeah lah, to save. So I think when I first started, so I started lecturing like a few years ago already. it started off as like, not a bad amount of like
Extra
kopi
cash, yeah.
money lah, like holiday
Can
plan,
grab.
can go holiday and things like that. But then now I think as I grew into it, then I think I derived some self-worth from it also. So not very good lah. It's all external validation. Yeah.
But it's internal too because it fulfills your soul.
So actually, apart from monetary gains as well, lecturing specifically, it started off as like, okay, financially like good. Then I realized I actually quite liked it. And I can see myself at some point, definitely not now lah, but when I'm quite a bit older, moving into it full time. Yeah, like academia, like teaching and things like that. When I am
like when you're older, and
when
then
I'm
you
done
want a chill job.
Yeah, no,
not chill
lah,
Sorry.
but when I'm done with the corporate world and want to give back to
Stable.
society
Wow.
and
Oh,
nurture the
yeah,
next
the
generation.
best
of leaders.
Okay. So like you have kind of like your ticket into that industry.
Yeah, so it's like secondary career planning.
That's so interesting you say that. So now, because I am doing a lot of things and I'm very comfortable where I am because it gives me a lot of time like to do what I want in the day. A lot of my jobs happen at night. And with content creation also, like social media posts, you can do that as you're out and about. You post at night. You don't need to, it doesn't require you to sit down and like, unless you're editing, but you know what I mean? So I get this question a lot. What are you going to do in the future? Like, that's what people always ask me. And when I move, because eventually I'm going to move to the US with my husband, right? They always asking, so what are you going to do there? Because nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to leverage on. In Singapore, I have that. Like in music, I have my music gigs.
And then you're quite well known, right?
Because of, I've worked so hard for so long in Singapore that I can have gigs, right? But in the US, what am I going to do?
Scratch
Even my side hustles like paintings or murals, I have no connections. What am I going to do? I don't have a specific skill that I can just, apply somewhere. So I think what Nick said is very true. I am trying to diversify my skill set also, just so that I have a lot of open doors in different industries that I can leverage on. So maybe if it's like teaching, I can say like I've had this much experience in Singapore, I can teach here also.
Yep.
Or if it's like, mural, I can apply it to places and be like, these are all my works I've done. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can and making sure I note everything down so that it will look good on a resume also.
But as a freelancer, do you feel the pressure to keep having more side hustles?
It's very difficult to sit down and look at the next 3 months and be like, yeah, I have all this lined up for me. It's part of the freelance life. You have to be comfortable with the uncertainty. I will say that as a freelancer, right, Dilulu is the Solulu. Like,
Dilulu is delusional. Come, I teach you.
Gen
Gen
Z,
Z,
right?
This kind of thing, you don't know?
Dilulu is a Solulu. Like, it's the
Dilulu
solution.
is the Solulu.
Yeah.
Solution.
So you need to be delusional. Like, and I will say it also works hand in hand with like manifestation. I really think that my delusion has played into manifestation and it has become real.
You understand that?
You need
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
a bit
I get it.
delusional.
Yeah.
You
I
really
get
need
it.
to be a bit delusional. Like, you really believe in yourself and you believe that the jobs will come. And then you just act like it, right? It will just come. I know it sounds very like,
Woo. Yeah.
but like for real, if you start acting like
You
it,
deserve the job.
I had to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I had to embrace that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if we take one step back, right? At what point does having more and more side hustles, right, or even having one side hustle, right, become a bit unhealthy, like a bit toxic?
I think if you're not having enough sleep,
Oh,
that's number one.
Yes.
and you don't enjoy it?
Your health, your happiness.
Like if you don't enjoy it, lah.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like there was a period where there was a lot of pressure for everyone to have a side hustle. It was when work from home started.
Yeah.
Because then people had more time at home and things like that. Then they're like,
Yeah.
what can I do?
Everyone was baking suddenly.
Yeah.
Like bake, and then people are like, hey, you can bake, right? You should sell.
Yeah.
And then people are like, hey, if I can earn money from something I enjoy doing, why wouldn't I do it?
So it's turning a hobby into a job. A good thing.
I feel like hustle culture can look very different on different people.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
depends on what you do to fulfill you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I feel like there was it's a period where hustle culture really talks about like the idea that you should constantly be doing something to improve yourself or have some monetary gain. And I think a lot of it is also like, a lot of it also was driven by how expensive everything has gotten. You have all these millennials or like even Gen Zs now who are becoming adults and having to deal with like adulting costs of living. So like, okay, what are you going to do to pay for your house? Or what are you going to do to pay for your wedding or things like that?
As in, I think the intention for hustling it started off from a good point, right?
Like self-improvement.
Yeah, self-improvement and
yeah.
also being like
Push
ready for your
yourself.
future.
Yeah.
Hardworking, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like hustle culture can exist within one job also. Like there are people who glorify overworking.
Yeah.
Like social media, like, oh, I'm at office again, it's 10 p.m, then they take the photo. Like ordering Max in, it's 11 p.m, I'm still here. Like,
Oh my god, no, then they'll hashtag grind never
yeah,
stop.
grind never stops. Hustle never, yeah, you know? I think it's okay to be proud of yourself for being dedicated to your job. But once it comes at the expense of yourself, that's very dangerous because you tie in your self-worth with
Your
how
work
much
lah,
you're suffering.
How hard you work and how
you
much
don't,
you
don't
suffer
need to suffer to be worthy of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that Instagram did pressure me for a while. Or like TikTok, sometimes, you know, like those ads where they're like, how you can earn this much amount of money in 2 months, you know?
Yeah.
And then at one point I did wonder, like, am I not doing enough? Like, just having my main job
Why is it not
wrong?
enough?
Like, why is it wrong? Yeah.
But actually, have you had side hustles before?
I mean, when I left my job, then I was freelancing for a while to do content or video work for people. But then I wouldn't say that that's my side hustle, right? But the only other side hustle is content creation on IG and TikTok, I guess.
Like
But then
the sponsored post.
yeah, but then that happened a lot when I was younger in my previous job. But now I am very careful and cautious about what I take on. I think back then it was like, oh, whatever that comes your way, just take. Like got money,
got money,
right?
take it, yeah.
But then I think as I grew older, I feel like I need to like stand with the things that I believe in.
Yes.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to take a product that
Something
I don't
you
believe
are
in.
willing to endorse personally.
Correct.
Yeah.
So actually over the years, I did very little ads. And then now I'm just taking on the ones that I believe in. Or it fits my lifestyle, then I
Yeah.
can promote it.
Yeah.
What are some side hustles that you guys think would be good to get into personally?
Honestly, right, if I ever have a side hustle, right, and if I improve myself, I want to teach like fitness class in the future. If I
Fun,
improve myself, yeah.
Quite fun.
But I need to like be better first. But is it? Am I pressuring myself to be perfect also? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, so actually fitness is quite an interesting one. I feel like for me also, when it happened, when there was an opportunity, then it was like, am I fit enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what if there's someone that comes for your class that is fitter than
Yeah.
you?
Then they're like, hey, why you cannot do this?
Yeah. So I feel like obviously there needs to be some standard, but you don't need to be the best because it's very hard to be the best in anything, ma.
Yeah.
That's true. Going into yoga, like, cause I got certified literally in between COVID. COVID was also when I started. I mean, it's when I started being very unhealthy. You know, I drink vanilla Coke every day because I can go 7-Eleven. Like, wow, it was so great. But then sometimes I'll think I don't really look like a yoga teacher because we have this, you know, like a Pilates teacher or a HIIT instructor. You really kind of have this
way
Yeah.
Yeah, but after a while, after talking to a lot of people actually said, I actually like that you don't look like a typical instructor because it's
not
representation, it's inclusive, and also fitness looks very different on everyone. Who's to say that someone who's on a bigger side is not healthy?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so after that, I realized actually, again, it's social media. It's how it's represented. Like I felt like I had to look a certain way to do something.
Question part! Hey,
Sorry. The
Question
mic.
pot.
Okay, pay attention. Me first.
yes.
Cue for question.
Who in this room would you not want to be colleagues with? Huh? But I've been
Colleagues
before.
就是 Joie.
How about Joy? I don't mind also.
Then maybe it's...
Myself.
Huh?
Huh?
I sometimes quite strong-headed.
From 1 to 10, how happy are you with your career?
Oh,
I'm very grateful to be doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
that's the best, really.
Yeah.
Like when you wake up every day and then you don't dread work.
Yeah. I always remind myself like where I started. I'm like, actually, I'm very lucky to be here.
Happiness looks great on you.
Okay, what's a side hustle you would never take on, even if it paid you $1 million? OnlyFans.
Oh, you sure?
Million ah.
You post one fit picture only.
eh.
One fit picture.
Maybe you
Oh,
post
feet
like
ah.
toenail photo.
Okay. Sorry, I qualify.
Like nudity lah.
Nudity OnlyFans.
Okay. Fit
But
pic can?
feet pics for 1 mil.
No lah, not 1 mil lah. Like.
But
if
the
you-
question is 1 mil.
So feet pics for 1 mil, okay?
I will pay 1 mil to never see his toenail.
Hey, my toenails are damn solid.
Guys, can I tell you my toenail become black because I run then bruise. It's damn sad.
When you branch out into a side hustle, right, do you feel imposter syndrome or will you feel imposter syndrome? Because you don't have as much experience in this new thing compared to your main job. Actually, for me, I think it would be the opposite, where I will start to have like a, what do you have to lose? And if you don't start, then you will never get good at it.
You don't take it so seriously, right?
Yeah.
So there's this book, Still Like an Artist. It actually mentions about how, like, don't wait for you to become perfect, then put out the work that you want to put out. Like, just do it. Just start somewhere. Yeah.
It's true. If you wait until you are ready, you'll never get there.
So what's a healthy or sustainable way of maintaining a side hustle?
I feel like it needs to be fulfilling. It needs to fulfill you in some way. So maybe it's like you don't like your job, but it guarantees you security. Maybe the benefits are really good, health benefits for your family. So, and it's not necessarily detrimental to your well-being, right?
Yeah.
So you hold on to that and you use a side hustle to supplement cash, but also more so emotional well-being. Like you feel more fulfilled because you can do something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
There's that case, or there's also the case where you really like your job, but it doesn't pay enough, but you have another skill that pays well that maybe you're not very passionate about. Maybe it's like, I don't know, you know how to fix laptop. Maybe you can fix laptop, fix whatever.
That's a very random skill.
Yeah. Or maybe you can really make chili very well. It's your grandmother's recipe. Example, okay, not everybody can make sambal, but you know what I mean?
So must be fulfilling.
I feel like it needs to add some element of fulfillment. Maybe not directly, but it can create a whole.
Okay, so either the financial gain is super solid or it must be fulfilling. I mean, I think for me, both of these things definitely important, but there are many things that you can fill your time up that will fulfill both criteria. So actually quite dangerous because like, this one fulfilling or not? Yeah, fulfilling, I do. This one fulfilling or not? Oh, fulfilling, I do also. So end up you just like have no time.
Are you talking about yourself?
Yeah. Because the things that I feel like the other things that I do, I find all of them fulfilling. But then there's a point where you need to know how to say no.
I feel like not every hobby needs to be capitalized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like some hobbies should stay hobbies.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
My very first side hustle, right, was when I was still in poly. So I did a photojournalism module, learn how to take photos. And then after that module, right, then I was like, oh, now I can take decent photos. Then I started shooting concerts in Singapore, like for fun lah, and I was doing it for free. But because I was shooting concerts, then I had a decent portfolio, like photography portfolio. Then people started asking me to do weddings and things like that as well. Then after I shot 2 weddings, then I realized I hate like taking photos for work. Cause weddings especially, right? Wow, super stressful.
Very stressful. I tried it before also.
If you mess it up, then
Wedding again.
You miss the first kiss.
yeah,
The cake cutting moment.
your
or
SD
like-
card corrupt.
Your lens cap still on.
Yeah. Let's keep still on a bit. Oh shoot, let's keep on. Yeah. So after that, I realized that I enjoyed it way more when I was just like shooting for fun. And I was shooting things that like I like shooting and nobody is paying me for it.
Actually, for my main job, right, I mean, I started like wanting to do like YouTube content for fun. Then it became my main job. As in, I'm doing it for companies lah. After a while, I did realize like, wow, actually it's my hobby, and then turn into a job. And then sometimes it's not fun anymore. Ideating and producing content suddenly became like exhausting.
Yeah.
Like you're just repeating the cycle over and over again. But then I found like ways to make sure that it's still a hobby. You know, like I have this friend group lah. And then we post like stupid TikTok videos. And then like I love editing that kind of lame ass videos. Like
That's your outlet.
yeah, it's my outlet to do
Yeah.
stupid content.
Yeah.
As in, sometimes I'm sick of doing content. I'm still happy doing other types of content.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
So for every one for every one wedding that you shoot, you must shoot 10 concerts. That
Oh,
kind of- that's
maybe,
the-
yeah.
Oh, that's very tiring.
To
eh.
sustain
Yeah.
the joy, to sustain
Yeah,
the joy. Okay.
That's actually very interesting because I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. So they were asking me what I do. And they were saying like, well, you do a lot. And I say, actually, if I don't do what I'm doing now, I don't think I will be doing music. Because when I first graduated from LaSalle doing music, even music school alone it got me very jaded already. Because I'm learning like very technical aspects of how to stand, how to hold your mic, how to turn on, how to call your wire, you know, and these are things that remove the joy and the spontaneity out of the art itself that made me second guess everything I did on stage. One of our assignments in school was to write a song every week. Every week I needed to write and perform an original. That took the love like out of writing. Like I just could not enjoy writing anymore. And I was writing for the sake of writing. And when I graduated, the first thing that came to my mind is I don't want to do music now. When I do music, it's solely because I want to.
And on your own terms.
I think when there's a KPI, it stops being fun.
Yes.
Right.
So that's why I went straight into art, which is what I did in secondary school. I was like, I'm
Right.
going to go straight into art. I went straight into teaching. And because I had that outlet to be creative without having to like do music, right? I wanted to write music again.
Actually, that's a good point. When there's a KPI, it stops being fun. So
Yeah.
actually, all your side hustles, right? Ideally, you shouldn't have too high self-expectations of your side hustles in terms of like how much money you need to earn or like
How many hours you
how
need
many
clock.
hours you need to clock and what you need to do and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It should really just be like a whatever you can get, okay lah, you'll be happy with it.
That's very interesting. I've seen firsthand like smaller businesses, like, you know, they bake, right? They bake for fun and sometimes they do like a big box.
Yeah.
And when it's, you know, you have enough orders to break even and maybe earn a bit of profit, I feel that's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Once your orders become too much and now you need to hire more people, rent an industrial kitchen, your overheads get higher.
More stressful.
And then it's so stressful because now you need to hit a certain amount, whereas before it's like,
Yeah.
it's extra money. So like for us, we went into fitness because we had a certification, right? What other side hustles kind of require certification?
So actually, in terms of like certification, it's quite interesting. In my early 20s, there was a point where I wanted to try and like part-time as a security guard.
You?
Like those overnight condo security guard. Because I thought that,
You want to wear the uniform or what? I won't feel safe.
Yeah, I see him downstairs.
because I thought that like every time I see the condo security guard, they just chill.
like
They don't really
need to-
patrol. I mean, cause some have. Like, I'm sure I am understating their job. Cause so they work very hard.
Yes.
Now that I know. But back then, I thought that actually just sit in the guard post and then open the gantry and then maybe I can do some work, like my main work ma.
Oh.
And then they'll pay you. It's not bad lah. I mean,
Oh my god,
like,
you can side hustle while doing the side hustle.
yeah. You can side hustle while doing. So I applied to those few security companies, like private security companies. Then need certificate one eh.
Oh.
As
So
in
it's,
for
it's
what?
a WSQ, I think, like security and patrolling certification.
I mean, I'm sure lah, they would need to know what's the SOP what.
So all the security guards that you see, right, in Singapore, right, they all went through this. Yeah, so that dashed my hopes of becoming a security guard.
Okay.
But yeah, so certification actually is quite
Important thing.
It's quite an important thing. Like depending on what side hustle you're thinking of going into, you can look at like what certifications might help you get there or are mandatory to get for you to have lah before you unknowingly go and do a side hustle and actually you're supposed
Then
to have
you go
certification.
to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually there are some like eyelashes, extensions, embroidery. They go for courses and some of them put like, you know, more renowned like certifications in their
Yeah.
bio. That's
Yeah.
kind of how you can legitimize your
work.
business, your work. Then for
Yeah.
Q, do you feel pressured?
In the past years, because of the whole Instagram, like everyone was posting on Instagram, the hustle culture was very obvious like 2 years back, I think.
Yeah.
And really like the hashtag grind never stops or like hustle.
Yeah, slay don't settle.
I never heard that one before. But yes, like because of those posts, right, I did feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not earning enough as much as my friends. I think till now, I mean, there's some sort of comparison as well. I've learned to not put myself in the same mold as others.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I need my work-life balance. I don't know how you do it. I can never do what Nick does.
Yeah.
If I have one side hustle, I think I'm happy. But no, I no longer feel the pressure actually. I'm just happy doing my thing, man.
Yeah.
That's good. That means you are fulfilled. I think it's a sign if you're constantly like, am I doing enough? Am I not? Like, I think I should be doing something. I think it could be a sign that you are not happy in your career now,
Yeah.
or that it's not fulfilling you the way you need to be fulfilled.
Correct. As in, I have a friend that knows, she's very self-aware that money makes her feel fulfilled. And I told her that I'm the opposite, and then like pursuing my own passions also, but without making it into a job. Yeah. So that's my fulfillment lah.
Why really be happier with a lot more money?
No lah, I think there's a point of diminishing returns. After a certain point, then you earn more and you take out, right? It's not worth your lifestyle doesn't get a lot better, but you are way more tired and you're working a lot
And you
more.
just have a lot of cash in the bank.
Yeah. So actually the side hustles that we brought up are not say as common, but we haven't talked about the most Singaporean side hustle.
But
Drive private hire or like hitch
or Grab Hitch, yes.
or deliver food.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, wedding coming up, they will whack like, or renovation coming up, then they will whack like food delivery, or they go and drive private hire for
Grab
like 2
Hitch
months. 3
actually,
months.
it
Yeah.
can help you
Cover
cover your petrol or cover your like what is it? Your payment, your car payments.
Yeah.
I heard stories about how like Grab Hitch drivers always reject guys.
It's so uncomfortable. You know where I stay.
Yeah.
You know my number, you know my name, you know where I stay. Like, please don't do that.
I mean, like, the feature has been out for how many years already, right? Until today, I have not been able to get a single hitch.
Yeah, I always get
I zero.
No,
always, and I always try.
right. But my Grab Hitch drivers, right, are always like old couples, like uncle auntie inside the car. Then I'm like, auntie,
So cute.
yeah, like they driving me home as if like they're my parents. To wrap it up, do you guys have any words of encouragement to people who are wanting to have a side hustle?
I think just try if there's an opportunity. But you also need to sort of find the balance lah. On top of your main job and your side hustle, still make sure that your quality of life is good. It needs to be sustainable, don't burn out.
I think do what fulfills you. And fulfillment looks very different on different people. There are people who are very happy just living I want to say dull, what looks dull to
Mundane.
you might actually be very rich to someone. You know, some people just enjoy like
The simple life.
yeah, and don't compare yourself to what like other people are showing, especially online. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Hot Pot. Please listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Me Listen.
And subscribe to our channel so that we can do more content like this.
And comment down below as well what are some side hustles that you have or you think might be interesting to try.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Have you seen the guy who takes photos of his passengers and he made a book out of his passengers' photos? He photographs his passengers with like a pretty atas camera.
Right.
And he actually has a book. Like he has a book that he sells and it's just photos of his passengers.
Like
And
Humans of New York kind of vibe.
yes, I think it's Humans of SG or something like that. Like it was in a cab. I took his cab without knowing it's him.
Then he take picture of you.
I think he did at the end. But I was a bit like salty, he never post my photo. Like why Why I never post my
DM him. Excuse me.
Why?